Welcome to another session in this series. So here we are starting from question number 3. Okay, so it says evaluate 11011 base 2 minus 101 base 2. So we are subtracting. Since both are in the same base, that simplifies our work. We just do normal subtraction, right? So let's go. We have 1 1 0 1 1 base 2. And then we have minus 1 0 and also in base 2. Okay, so now we're going to subtract, right? So 1 minus 1, this 1 minus 1 here is what? 0. So let's put that down. 0. And then 1 minus 0 is what? 1. So 1. And then 0 minus 1 is impossible, right? So we need to borrow from this side. We need to borrow from 1, and then we add it here. But we are working in base 2, right? We are working in base 2. Normally, when we are subtracting, you borrow. What do you borrow? 37 minus maybe 25. Let's say 37 minus 28. And you are borrowing from here. What do you borrow? You borrow 10, right? Because we borrow 10, okay? So here we are working in base 2. So what we borrow is what? 2. So what we borrow from this side is what? 2. Okay, so what we borrow is what? 2. So we borrow from here to here. So here we are left with what? 0 here. Okay, so when we borrow, it becomes what? 2 minus 1, which is what? 1. So let's write 1. And here you're left with 0, right? So 0 minus 0 is what? 0. So you put 0. And here we have 1. Finally, 1 minus 0 here is what? 1. So we have 1. So this is our answer. So do you have that there? 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 0? Yes, right here. Right here. Which is C. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 4. It says evaluate 1341 base 5 minus 242 base 5. Right? Cool. So we do the same thing we did, right? 1 3 4 1 2 4 2 minus. Cool. Now, since we are working in base 5, keep in mind that anything we are going to borrow, it will be in what? It will be what? 5, not 10. So we borrow 5. Okay, so now let's start. We have 1 minus 2. So that's impossible. So we go and then we borrow from here. Okay, so we borrow. And what we borrow is 5, right? We borrow 5. So this 5 plus this 1 plus 1 is what? 6. And then 6 minus 2 is what? 4. So we have to put 4 here, right? Cool. So we have 4. And then when we borrowed, our remainder is what? We borrowed 5 from here. Our remainder is what? 3. You're borrowing 1 from there, but then it counts as what? 5. So our remainder here will be 3. So let's write it down. You have 3. Okay. So now 3 minus 4, also 4 is bigger than 3. So here we need to borrow again, right? So we need to borrow again. When we borrow it is what? When we borrow it is 5. So 5 plus the 3 is what? 8. And 8 minus this 4 is what? 4. So this side will be what? 4. 4. And when we borrow from here, we borrowed, right? So it will be left with what? 2. So let's write 2 here. So now this 2 minus 2 is what? 0. So 0. And now finally 1 minus nothing, which is 0, which is what? 1. 1. So here is our answer. Here is our answer. Let's see if you have it there. Base 5, right? Base 5. You have to be careful. Base 5. 1044 base 5. So our answer is C. Our answer is C. Okay. It says let's do question number 5, or we should just skip it to the next session. Okay, let's leave it for the next session. Thank you very much. See you again in the next session. Bye.